The journey of being one of God's chosen ones is a profound and sacred calling, one that requires unwavering commitment to the divine purpose bestowed upon you. As someone uniquely selected by God to fulfill a higher mission, you are entrusted with a path that is not only extraordinary but also deeply personal and fragile. This sacred journey is your connection to the divine, a spiritual covenant that demands your vigilance and discretion. To walk this path faithfully, you must understand that protecting the sanctity of your mission is paramount. And one critical aspect of this is learning to guard your secrets. God's anger is not a punishment but a divine signal, a warning to remind you of the gravity of your role and the importance of preserving what is holy. When you freely share the sacred details of your journey with those who are not aligned with your purpose, you risk inviting confusion, envy, and negativity into your life. The divine path you tread is not meant for everyone to understand or partake in. It is uniquely yours, crafted with divine intention. Sharing too much with the wrong people can dilute the sanctity of your mission, leading to distractions and delays that hinder your spiritual growth. As a chosen one, you carry a light that not everyone around you can comprehend or appreciate. The dreams, revelations, and visions entrusted to you are not mere ideas, but divine insights meant to guide you toward fulfilling God's purpose. When you share these prematurely or with the wrong audience, you expose them to energies that may not be aligned with your mission. Some may dismiss your revelations out of ignorance, while others might harbor envy or skepticism that could plant seeds of doubt in your heart. These reactions, though subtle, can create spiritual disturbances that divert you from your path. The importance of silence cannot be overstated. Silence is not a sign of weakness or secrecy for its own sake. It is a powerful shield that guards your spiritual energy and preserves the purity of your divine connection. In moments of quiet reflection, you strengthen your bond with God, allowing His guidance to flow freely and uninterrupted. When you choose silence over speaking, you honor the sacredness of your journey, protecting it from the judgments and misunderstandings of the world. Consider the wisdom of the prophets and spiritual leaders who came before you. Many of them understood the value of withholding their revelations until the right time. They recognized that divine insights are not meant to be shared indiscriminately, but are to be revealed only when the circumstances align with God's timing. This discretion is not about exclusivity, but about stewardship, caring for the sacred knowledge you have been entrusted with and ensuring it reaches its intended purpose without interference. God's chosen ones are often surrounded by a world that does not understand their journey. People may question your motives, challenge your beliefs, or even attempt to dissuade you from your path. This is why discernment is crucial. Not everyone is equipped to handle the weight of your vision or the depth of your calling. Some may unintentionally project their fears or limitations onto you, clouding your clarity and weakening your resolve. By choosing carefully whom to confide in, you protect not only your mission but also your peace of mind. God's anger in this context is a protective force, a reminder of what is at stake. When you reveal your sacred truths prematurely, you risk disrupting the divine flow that guides your journey. It's not about withholding out of fear, but about honoring the process and trusting in God's timing. Every revelation, every insight, and every step of your journey has its appointed time. Patience and trust are virtues that anchor you, helping you navigate the challenges of your calling with grace and confidence. The journey of a chosen one is not without its trials. The world's distractions, temptations, and criticisms can be overwhelming, but they are not insurmountable. By maintaining your focus and protecting your spiritual energy, you safeguard the sacredness of your mission. Silence, solitude, and discernment become your tools of preservation, allowing you to stay aligned with God's will and fulfill your divine purpose. In the stillness of your heart, you will find clarity and strength. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that God speaks to you, guiding you with wisdom and love. When you resist the urge to share your sacred journey with others, you create space for divine revelations to unfold naturally. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and know that when the moment is right, the world will witness the full glory of His purpose through you. Your mission as one of God's chosen ones is a sacred trust. Protect it with all your heart, for it is through this protection that you honor God and fulfill the destiny He has written for you. Embrace the power of silence, trust in divine timing, and walk your path with unwavering faith. The world may not always understand your journey, but it is not their understanding that matters. It is your faithfulness to God's call that will lead you to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. To fully embrace the role of one of God's chosen ones, it is essential to understand that your journey is both unique and sacred. The path you walk is not meant to be shared indiscriminately. The divine secrets and insights entrusted to you are not for casual conversations or fleeting moments of validation. They are profound gifts that require careful stewardship and unwavering discernment. Sharing these sacred elements prematurely or with the wrong individuals can lead to consequences that disrupt the harmony of your spiritual journey. The essence of being chosen lies in recognizing the value of silence as a protective force. Silence is not merely the absence of words, but a deliberate act of safeguarding the divine revelations that shape your mission. In a world that often equates transparency with trust, the power of withholding is misunderstood. However, for those chosen by God, silence is a divine command, a shield that protects your purpose from distortion, misinterpretation, and external interference. When you choose to remain silent, you create a sacred space for God's wisdom to grow and flourish within you. God's anger is stirred when His chosen ones fail to protect the sanctity of their mission. This anger is not rooted in wrath, but in divine concern, a warning that you are veering away from the path He has carefully crafted for you. When you reveal your dreams, plans, or spiritual insights to those who are not spiritually aligned with you, you expose yourself to doubt, criticism, and the possibility of your vision being undermined. These consequences are not accidental, but the natural result of entrusting sacred truths to unprepared hands. The Bible offers countless examples of the importance of discretion and timing. Consider Joseph, who shared his prophetic dreams with his brothers, only to face envy and betrayal. His experience serves as a timeless reminder that not everyone is ready to hear or support the divine calling placed upon your life. The reactions of others, whether rooted in misunderstanding, jealousy, or fear, can create barriers that delay the fulfillment of God's promises. As a chosen one, it is your responsibility to discern who, if anyone, is worthy of sharing in your sacred journey. Discretion is not about hiding or diminishing your purpose, it is about preserving its purity. The visions and revelations you receive are delicate and powerful, requiring a fertile and undisturbed environment to take root. When you expose them prematurely, you risk contaminating their essence with the doubts and judgments of others. This contamination can weaken your resolve, causing you to question the validity of what God has shown you. Protecting your spiritual insights is not an act of selfishness, but a profound acknowledgement of their divine origin. The urgency to share often comes from a place of excitement, pride, or a desire for validation. However, as one of God's chosen ones, you must resist this urge and remember that divine timing is perfect. What may seem like an opportune moment to share could actually be a test of your patience and faith. Waiting for God's signal ensures that your revelations will be received in the right context and by the right individuals. Premature sharing not only risks misunderstanding, but can also shift your focus away from God's plan to the fleeting opinions of others. The weight of your calling is not meant to be carried by everyone. Sharing your sacred truths with unaligned individuals can lead to spiritual confusion and emotional exhaustion. These individuals, whether knowingly or unknowingly, can project their insecurities and fears onto you, creating an atmosphere of doubt and negativity. Their lack of understanding may cause them to dismiss or trivialize your mission, leaving you to question the very foundation of your purpose. By maintaining your silence, you protect yourself from these detrimental influences and remain firmly grounded in God's truth. Solitude becomes a sanctuary for the chosen ones. In the quiet moments of reflection, you find clarity and reassurance in God's presence. This solitude is not isolation, but a deliberate withdrawal from external distractions that threaten to derail your journey. Within this sacred space, God's voice becomes louder, guiding you with wisdom and love. The more you embrace the stillness, the more you align with His will, allowing His divine plan to unfold without interference. Your mission as a chosen one is deeply personal and profoundly sacred. It requires a level of trust in God's guidance that supersedes the need for human approval. The divine insights you receive are not for public display, but for the fulfillment of your unique calling. When the time comes for your revelations to be shared, God will make it abundantly clear, ensuring that they are delivered to those who are prepared to receive them. To protect your divine purpose, you must cultivate the discipline of discernment. Not everyone who expresses interest in your journey is equipped to support or understand it. Their curiosity does not equate to readiness, and their presence in your life does not guarantee alignment. By choosing to keep your sacred truths guarded, you honor the covenant you have with God and ensure that His plan for you remains intact. Trust in His timing. Embrace the power of silence, and walk with the confidence that your mission is unfolding exactly as it should. As one of God's chosen ones, you carry within you a divine purpose that is set apart from the ordinary. This sacred calling is not meant to be handled lightly or shared without caution. Your mission is a profound trust from God, designed to unfold according to His perfect timing. However, one of the greatest challenges for those who walk this path is learning to guard their spiritual insights and divine plans. The act of preserving these secrets is not a burden but a critical responsibility, one that protects both your journey and the blessings God has prepared for you. The power of your calling lies in its sacredness. When you reveal your divine insights or future plans to those who are unprepared or unworthy to hear them, you risk diminishing their power. These revelations are not ordinary pieces of information, but divinely orchestrated truths meant to guide you toward your destiny. By sharing them prematurely, you expose them to external energies that can distort, weaken, or even block their intended purpose. The world, with all its distractions and misunderstandings, is not always ready to receive what God has given you. Consider the vulnerability of a seed planted in the soil. In its earliest stages, it requires protection from harsh elements, predators, and anything that might disrupt its growth. Similarly, your divine purpose is like that seed, fragile yet filled with potential. It needs time, care, and a nurturing environment to grow strong enough to withstand the challenges it will face. When you expose your plans or insights too soon, it is akin to uprooting that seed before it has had a chance to take root. This act not only hinders its growth, but can also destroy its potential entirely. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to protect their secrets is not an act of punishment, but a sign of His deep care and concern. He knows the consequences of sharing divine truths with those who are not spiritually aligned. When you reveal sacred details to the wrong individuals, you invite their doubts, judgments, and misunderstandings into your journey. These reactions can create spiritual blockages, making it harder for you to hear God's voice and follow His guidance. The weight of their opinions can overshadow the clarity of your divine mission, leaving you vulnerable to confusion and discouragement. Silence is your safeguard against these challenges. It is in the stillness of your heart and mind that God's wisdom takes root and flourishes. By choosing not to share your sacred truths prematurely, you create a space where God's guidance can flow freely, untainted by external influences. This silence is not a retreat from the world, but a deliberate act of spiritual preservation. It allows you to maintain the purity of your connection with God, ensuring that His plans for you remain unspoiled by the noise and distractions of the world. The path of the chosen one is often misunderstood by others. People may question your actions, challenge your decisions, or attempt to impose their own beliefs onto your journey. This is why discernment is essential. Not everyone is capable of understanding or supporting the weight of your calling. Their perspectives, no matter how well-meaning, can lead you astray if they are not aligned with God's purpose for your life. Protecting your divine mission means being selective about whom you allow into your inner circle and what you choose to share with them. Your silence also serves as a boundary, a line that separates your sacred truths from the world's distractions. It is through this boundary that you create a safe space for your spiritual growth. Within this space, you can nurture your relationship with God, seek His guidance, and prepare for the challenges ahead. The more you honor this boundary, the stronger your connection with God becomes, enabling you to fulfill your mission with confidence and clarity. The temptation to share your journey often comes from a desire for validation or encouragement. As humans, we naturally seek connection and affirmation from those around us. However, as one of God's chosen ones, your validation comes from Him alone. Trusting in His approval and timing is a mark of your faith and commitment to your calling. While the world may offer fleeting reassurance, only God can provide the lasting strength and peace needed to carry out your mission. The sacredness of your journey requires you to walk a path of humility and patience. It is not your responsibility to make others understand or accept your calling. Instead, your focus must remain on God's guidance and the fulfillment of His plan for your life. By keeping your divine insights and plans close to your heart, you protect them from being tainted by external doubts or negativity. This act of preservation is not just for your benefit, but also for the greater purpose God has designed for you. Remember that your mission is not a burden, but a blessing. The responsibility to protect your sacred truths is a testament to the significance of your calling. God has entrusted you with a unique purpose, one that requires your full attention and unwavering faith. By embracing the power of silence and discernment, you honor the divine trust placed in you. Through this act of faith, you ensure that God's plans for your life will unfold as intended, bringing glory to Him and fulfillment to your soul. The journey of being one of God's chosen ones is a profound and often misunderstood calling. It is a role that carries immense responsibility, requiring unwavering faith and discernment. One of the most critical aspects of this journey is recognizing the value of discretion and understanding why God calls His chosen ones to guard their secrets. This act of spiritual protection is not rooted in fear, but in the wisdom of safeguarding the divine energy that fuels your mission. When you honor this principle, you align yourself more closely with God's purpose and allow His guidance to illuminate your path. As a chosen one, the revelations and insights you receive are uniquely tailored to your mission. These divine gifts are entrusted to you for a reason, and they are not meant to be shared casually. Every word, vision, or insight carries a spiritual weight that can only be understood by those who are spiritually prepared. Sharing these sacred truths prematurely can lead to their misinterpretation, distortion, or rejection. These outcomes are not only disheartening, but can also create spiritual barriers that make it more challenging for you to stay aligned with God's will. The power of your divine calling lies in its sanctity. It is a covenant between you and God, a bond that is strengthened through silence and reverence. When you choose to keep your sacred truths close to your heart, you create a spiritual shield that protects you from external influences. This shield is not a barrier to connection, but a safeguard that allows you to discern who is worthy of sharing in your journey. Discernment is a critical skill for the chosen ones, as not everyone who expresses interest in your path has the spiritual maturity or alignment to support it. The world often values openness and transparency, encouraging individuals to share their thoughts and experiences freely. While this can be beneficial in certain contexts, It is not always appropriate for those who walk a divine path. Your mission requires a higher level of discretion, as the sacred knowledge you carry is not meant for public consumption. By withholding your insights, you honor the divine trust placed in you and protect the purity of your connection with God. This act of preservation is an expression of your faith and commitment to the journey God has set before you. Silence is a tool of immense power for the chosen ones. It is within the quiet moments of reflection and prayer that God reveals His plans and provides the strength needed to carry them out. These moments of stillness allow you to listen more deeply to His voice, free from the distractions and noise of the world. When you choose silence over sharing, you create a space for divine wisdom to flourish. This wisdom is what sustains you and guides you through the challenges and uncertainties of your mission. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets is not an act of condemnation, but a divine reminder of the importance of obedience and trust. He understands the consequences of sharing sacred truths with those who are not spiritually aligned. These individuals, whether knowingly or unknowingly, can project their doubts, fears, and negativity onto your journey. Their reactions can create confusion and hesitation, making it more difficult for you to move forward with confidence. By choosing discretion, you protect yourself from these influences and ensure that your mission remains undisturbed. The Bible provides numerous examples of the importance of timing and discretion. Jesus Himself often spoke in parables, revealing truths only to those who were ready to understand them. He knew that not everyone could grasp the depth of His teachings, and He exercised discernment in sharing them. Similarly, as one of God's chosen ones, you must be mindful of when and with whom you share your revelations. This practice not only protects your spiritual journey, but also ensures that the truths you reveal are received with the reverence they deserve. Discretion also allows you to maintain your spiritual energy. Sharing too much too soon can be draining, both emotionally and spiritually. When you open yourself up to others, you risk exposing your vulnerabilities and inviting external energies into your sacred space. These energies, whether positive or negative, can disrupt the balance of your connection with God. By choosing silence, you preserve your strength and ensure that your focus remains on your divine mission. This preservation is not an act of isolation, but a necessary step in maintaining the integrity of your journey. Your role as a chosen one is not to seek validation from the world, but to fulfill the purpose God has placed in your heart. This requires a level of faith and humility that transcends the need for human approval. When you trust in God's timing and guidance, you free yourself from the pressures of external expectations. This freedom allows you to walk your path with confidence, knowing that you are fulfilling a purpose far greater than yourself. The divine knowledge you carry is a sacred trust, one that requires careful stewardship. By choosing discretion and silence, you honor this trust and demonstrate your commitment to God's plan. This act of faith strengthens your connection with Him and allows His guidance to flow more freely in your life. As you continue on your journey, remember that your silence is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength and dedication as one of God's chosen ones. The journey of being one of God's chosen ones is a profound and often misunderstood calling. It is a role that carries immense responsibility, requiring unwavering faith and discernment. One of the most critical aspects of this journey is recognizing the value of discretion and understanding why God calls His chosen ones to guard their secrets. This act of spiritual protection is not rooted in fear, but in the wisdom of safeguarding the divine energy that fuels your mission. When you honor this principle, you align yourself more closely with God's purpose and allow His guidance to illuminate your path. As a chosen one, the revelations and insights you receive are uniquely tailored to your mission. These divine gifts are entrusted to you for a reason, and they are not meant to be shared casually. Every word, vision, or insight carries a spiritual weight that can only be understood by those who are spiritually prepared. Sharing these sacred truths prematurely can lead to their misinterpretation, distortion, or rejection. These outcomes are not only disheartening but can also create spiritual barriers that make it more challenging for you to stay aligned with God's will. The power of your divine calling lies in its sanctity. It is a covenant between you and God, a bond that is strengthened through silence and reverence. When you choose to keep your sacred truths close to your heart, you create a spiritual shield that protects you from external influences. This shield is not a barrier to connection, but a safeguard that allows you to discern who is worthy of sharing in your journey. Discernment is a critical skill for the chosen ones, as not everyone who expresses interest in your path has the spiritual maturity or alignment to support it. The world often values openness and transparency, encouraging individuals to share their thoughts and experiences freely. While this can be beneficial in certain contexts, it is not always appropriate for those who walk a divine path. Your mission requires a higher level of discretion, as the sacred knowledge you carry is not meant for public consumption. By withholding your insights, you honor the divine trust placed in you and protect the purity of your connection with God. This act of preservation is an expression of your faith and commitment to the journey God has set before you. Silence is a tool of immense power for the chosen ones. It is within the quiet moments of reflection and prayer that God reveals His plans and provides the strength needed to carry them out. These moments of stillness allow you to listen more deeply to His voice, free from the distractions and noise of the world. When you choose silence over sharing, you create a space for divine wisdom to flourish. This wisdom is what sustains you and guides you through the challenges and uncertainties of your mission. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets is not an act of condemnation, but a divine reminder of the importance of obedience and trust. He understands the consequences of sharing sacred truths with those who are not spiritually aligned. These individuals, whether knowingly or unknowingly, can project their doubts, fears, and negativity onto your journey. Their reactions can create confusion and hesitation, making it more difficult for you to move forward with confidence. By choosing discretion, you protect yourself from these influences and ensure that your mission remains undisturbed. The Bible provides numerous examples of the importance of timing and discretion. Jesus Himself often spoke in parables, revealing truths only to those who were ready to understand them. He knew that not everyone could grasp the depth of His teachings, and He exercised discernment in sharing them. Similarly, as one of God's chosen ones, you must be mindful of when and with whom you share your revelations. This practice not only protects your spiritual journey, but also ensures that the truths you reveal are received with the reverence they deserve. Discretion also allows you to maintain your spiritual energy. Sharing too much too soon can be draining, both emotionally and spiritually. When you open yourself up to others, you risk exposing your vulnerabilities and inviting external energies into your sacred space. These energies, whether positive or negative, can disrupt the balance of your connection with God. By choosing silence, you preserve your strength and ensure that your focus remains on your divine mission. This preservation is not an act of isolation, but a necessary step in maintaining the integrity of your journey. Your role as a chosen one is not to seek validation from the world, but to fulfill the purpose God has placed in your heart. This requires a level of faith and humility that transcends the need for human approval. When you trust in God's timing and guidance, you free yourself from the pressures of external expectations. This freedom allows you to walk your path with confidence, knowing that you are fulfilling a purpose far greater than yourself. The divine knowledge you carry is a sacred trust, one that requires careful stewardship. By choosing discretion and silence, you honor this trust and demonstrate your commitment to God's plan. This act of faith strengthens your connection with Him and allows His guidance to flow more freely in your life. As you continue on your journey, remember that your silence is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength and dedication as one of God's chosen ones. To be one of God's chosen ones is to carry a unique and divine responsibility that requires deep spiritual awareness and discernment. Your role is not simply to live out the path laid before you, but to protect the sacred truths and revelations that God entrusts to you. These insights are more than personal gifts, they are keys to fulfilling your divine purpose. Guarding these treasures is not a matter of selfishness, but an essential act of obedience, ensuring that God's will is carried out without interference or distortion. The story of Samson offers a striking example of the importance of safeguarding what is sacred. Samson's strength was tied to his uncut hair, a divine covenant between him and God. When he revealed the secret of his strength to Delilah, he broke that covenant, and his power was taken from him. This narrative serves as a reminder that the spiritual gifts we receive are deeply connected to our obedience and discretion. Sharing sacred knowledge with the wrong people can lead to devastating consequences, not only for ourselves, but for the fulfillment of God's greater plan. As a chosen one, you are called to walk a path of solitude and reflection, embracing the power of silence. Silence is not a sign of isolation, but a shield that protects the purity of your connection with God. It creates space for divine wisdom to flow and allows you to nurture the spiritual gifts entrusted to you. When you resist the urge to share every revelation or insight, you demonstrate trust in God's timing and wisdom. This trust is a cornerstone of your journey, anchoring you in faith even when the world around you seeks to pull you off course. The urge to share your divine insights often stems from a natural desire for validation or connection. However, seeking affirmation from others can dilute the sacredness of your mission. People who are not spiritually aligned with your purpose may misunderstand or trivialize what you share, introducing doubt and confusion into your journey. Their skepticism, envy, or lack of comprehension can create spiritual obstacles that disrupt your focus and weaken your resolve. By choosing discretion, you protect yourself from these negative influences and preserve the sanctity of your mission. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets is not born of wrath, but of profound care and concern. He understands the dangers of exposing sacred truths to those who are not prepared to receive them. This anger is a divine warning, urging you to recognize the importance of your role and the need to shield it from harm. It is a call to greater obedience and a reminder that your mission is not your own, but a part of God's larger plan. By heeding this warning, you align yourself more closely with His will and ensure that your journey remains on course. The Bible frequently emphasizes the importance of discretion and timing in revealing divine truths. Jesus Himself often withheld certain teachings, choosing to speak in parables or to share deeper insights only with His closest disciples. He understood that not everyone was ready to receive the full weight of His message. Similarly, as one of God's chosen ones, you must exercise discernment in sharing your revelations. Timing and audience are critical factors that determine whether your words will inspire understanding or sow confusion. The path of the chosen one is not without its challenges. The world's distractions and expectations can make it difficult to maintain your focus and clarity. Social norms often encourage openness and transparency. But as a chosen one, you are held to a higher standard. Your mission requires you to rise above these norms, embracing a level of discretion that protects your spiritual energy and aligns you with God's purpose. This is not an easy task, but it is a necessary one if you are to fulfill your divine calling. The discipline of guarding your secrets is a form of spiritual stewardship. It requires humility, patience, and unwavering faith in God's timing. By keeping your sacred truths close, you create a space where they can grow and mature, free from the influence of external opinions. This act of preservation ensures that when the time comes to share your insights, they will be received in the manner God intends. Your role is not to rush this process, but to trust that God's timing is always perfect. The journey of the chosen one is a sacred trust, a covenant between you and God. It is a path that demands not only faith, but also vigilance and discretion. By embracing the power of silence and guarding the secrets God has placed within you, you honor this covenant and ensure that His will is carried out in its fullness. The strength to walk this path comes not from the approval of others, but from your unwavering connection to God. In silence, you find clarity. In discretion, you find strength. And in obedience, you find the fulfillment of your divine purpose. To walk as one of God's chosen ones is to embrace a journey that requires unwavering faith, discernment, and profound trust in divine timing. Your mission is unique and sacred, designed with a purpose that intertwines deeply with God's larger plan. Yet, one of the most significant responsibilities you carry is to guard the revelations and insights that God entrusts to you. These sacred truths are not meant to be shared without thought or caution, as their exposure to the wrong audience can hinder your spiritual growth and compromise the integrity of your calling. The nature of divine secrets is inherently delicate. They are entrusted to you for your growth, guidance, and alignment with God's purpose. Sharing them prematurely or with individuals who are not spiritually prepared to understand them can lead to doubt, distortion, and even spiritual attack. This is not a reflection of others' intentions, but rather a recognition that not everyone possesses the spiritual maturity or alignment needed to support your mission. In such cases, what begins as a moment of excitement or vulnerability can result in confusion and delay, pulling you further from the clarity you need to fulfill your purpose. God's anger, when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets, is an expression of His profound love and protection. It is not born from wrath, but from His understanding of the stakes involved. He knows the potential damage that can arise when divine insights are mishandled. This anger is a divine warning, a reminder of the sacredness of your mission and the necessity of preserving its purity. By heeding this warning, you strengthen your connection to God and reaffirm your commitment to His plan. Silence, in this context, is not merely an absence of speech, but an active practice of preservation. It is within the stillness that you create a space for God's wisdom to flow and deepen your understanding of His purpose. When you resist the urge to share every insight or revelation, you demonstrate trust in God's timing. This restraint is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful declaration of faith, acknowledging that His plan will unfold perfectly when the moment is right. By practicing silence, you allow your spiritual gifts to mature, ensuring they are ready to fulfill their intended purpose. The Bible offers many examples of the importance of discretion among God's chosen ones. One striking example is the story of Nehemiah. When tasked with rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, Nehemiah did not immediately share his plans with those around him. Instead, he kept them close to his heart, seeking God's guidance and timing. Only when the time was right did he reveal his mission, ensuring its success by aligning with divine wisdom. His story illustrates the power of patience and the necessity of guarding sacred truths until the appointed time. As a chosen one, you may feel the temptation to share your journey with others as a way of seeking validation or connection. This desire is natural but must be approached with discernment. Not everyone who expresses curiosity or support has the capacity to understand or nurture your calling. Their reactions, whether skeptical, dismissive, or even envious, can plant seeds of doubt that disrupt your focus and weaken your resolve. By exercising discretion, you protect yourself from these influences and ensure that your energy remains aligned with God's will. The act of withholding sacred truths is not about isolation, but about stewardship. You are tasked with nurturing the gifts God has given you, ensuring they are not prematurely exposed to environments where they cannot flourish. This stewardship requires humility, patience, and a deep trust in God's guidance. It is a recognition that your mission is not solely your own, but a part of a greater divine plan, one that demands careful cultivation and protection. Discretion also allows you to maintain the purity of your spiritual connection. When you choose to keep your divine insights close, You create a space where God's voice can be heard more clearly. This clarity is essential for navigating the challenges and uncertainties that often accompany your journey. By protecting this sacred space, you ensure that your actions remain guided by faith rather than influenced by external pressures or expectations. The strength to guard your secrets comes from understanding their divine origin. These truths are not just personal insights, but pieces of God's plan for your life. Sharing them without discernment risks diminishing their power and diverting you from your path. It is through silence and reflection that these revelations gain strength, preparing you to act with confidence and purpose when the time comes to share them. The journey of the chosen one is marked by moments of solitude and reflection, where the noise of the world fades, and God's presence becomes more tangible. In these moments, you are reminded of the sacredness of your mission and the importance of preserving its integrity. By embracing the discipline of discretion, you honor the divine trust placed in you and ensure that your path remains aligned with God's will. This practice of silence and stewardship is not a burden but a privilege, a testament to the depth of your calling and the strength of your faith. To walk as one of God's chosen ones is to embrace a life filled with divine purpose, but also one that requires solitude, silence, and unwavering trust in God's plan. This journey is sacred, designed with unique challenges and blessings that require careful attention and protection. Central to this path is the call to maintain discretion and to guard the divine revelations entrusted to you. These sacred insights are not ordinary knowledge, but profound truths that are part of God's larger purpose for your life. By keeping them close to your heart, you honor the divine trust placed in you and protect your mission from unnecessary interference. Silence and solitude are not signs of weakness or isolation, but are instead powerful tools for spiritual growth and alignment. In these moments of stillness, God's voice becomes more pronounced, guiding you with clarity and assurance. The world often values noise and constant communication, but the chosen ones are called to a different standard. By stepping away from the clamor of external distractions, you create a sacred space where divine wisdom can take root and flourish. This intentional withdrawal is not about detachment from others, but about maintaining the purity of your connection with God. The necessity of guarding your sacred truths cannot be overstated. When you share your divine insights with those who are not spiritually prepared to receive them, you risk exposing these truths to doubt, envy, and misunderstanding. These reactions, whether intentional or not, can create spiritual obstacles that hinder your progress and weaken your resolve. By exercising discretion, you ensure that your mission remains undisturbed and that your focus remains on fulfilling God's plan for your life. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to protect their secrets is a reflection of His deep understanding of what is at stake. He knows the vulnerabilities that arise when sacred truths are shared prematurely or with the wrong individuals. This anger is not punitive but protective, a divine reminder of the importance of obedience and trust. It serves as a call to realign with His purpose and to recognize the profound responsibility that comes with being chosen. By heeding this call, you strengthen your relationship with God and reaffirm your commitment to His will. The Bible provides numerous examples of the power of silence and discretion among God's chosen. One such example is the story of Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. When she became pregnant after years of barrenness, she chose to keep her pregnancy private for 5 months, spending time in quiet reflection and gratitude. Her decision to remain silent during this period allowed her to focus on God's miraculous work in her life without the distractions of external opinions or judgments. Her story illustrates the strength and wisdom found in choosing silence as a means of protecting the sacred. The chosen ones are often misunderstood by the world. Their journey is unique, filled with divine revelations that may not align with conventional understanding. This lack of alignment can lead to skepticism or even ridicule from those who do not share the same spiritual perspective. By choosing discretion, you shield yourself from these external judgments and maintain the integrity of your mission. This act of self-preservation is not about avoiding connection with others, but about ensuring that your energy and focus remain aligned with God's purpose. The practice of solitude also serves as a means of spiritual renewal. In the quiet moments of reflection, you can reconnect with the divine source of your strength and gain clarity about your path. This time alone with God is essential for deepening your faith and understanding the nuances of your calling. It is in these moments that you can seek His guidance, draw from His wisdom, and prepare yourself for the challenges that lie ahead. Solitude is not a retreat from the world, but a return to the core of your spiritual identity. The discipline required to guard your sacred truths is a reflection of your commitment to God's plan. It requires patience, humility, and an unwavering trust in His timing. Sharing your revelations too soon or with the wrong people can disrupt the delicate balance of your journey. By choosing to remain silent, you allow your spiritual insights to mature and develop, ensuring that they are ready to be shared when the time is right. This practice of discretion is not a denial of your calling, but an affirmation of its significance. As one of God's chosen ones, you are called to rise above the noise and distractions of the world. Your mission is not to seek validation from others, but to fulfill the purpose God has placed within you. This requires a steadfast commitment to maintaining the sanctity of your journey, even when it means walking a path that others may not understand. By embracing the power of silence and solitude, you honor the divine trust placed in you and ensure that your mission unfolds as God intends. The journey of the chosen one is not an easy one, but it is deeply rewarding. Each step requires faith, discernment, and a willingness to protect the sacred. By guarding your secrets and maintaining a space of quiet reflection, you create an environment where God's wisdom can flourish and guide you. This act of stewardship is a testament to your faith and a demonstration of your commitment to the divine purpose that sets you apart. In the stillness of your heart, you will find the strength to carry out your mission and the clarity to walk the path God has laid before you. As one of God's chosen ones, your journey is marked by divine purpose and unique insights meant to guide you toward fulfilling His will. This path, while sacred and profound, requires the utmost care and discernment. Central to your calling is the responsibility to protect the divine revelations entrusted to you. These are not ordinary pieces of knowledge, but powerful truths that hold the potential to shape your destiny and impact the world around you. Preserving their sanctity is not only an act of obedience, but also a testament to your trust in God's perfect plan. The divine timing of your revelations is essential to their fulfillment. God's plans are never rushed or delayed. They unfold exactly when and how they are meant to. When you share your insights prematurely or with individuals who are not prepared to receive them, you risk interfering with this timing. The consequences of such interference can manifest in the form of confusion, doubt, or even resistance from others, which can create unnecessary obstacles on your path. Trusting in God's timing requires patience and faith, recognizing that His wisdom far surpasses human understanding. The sacredness of your journey demands that you exercise caution in choosing whom to trust with your divine insights. Not everyone who appears supportive or curious has the spiritual maturity or alignment needed to understand your calling. Some may unintentionally project their fears, doubts, or insecurities onto you, weakening your resolve and diverting your focus. By safeguarding your revelations, you protect both yourself and the mission God has entrusted to you. This act of discretion is not about secrecy for its own sake, but about ensuring that the integrity of your purpose remains intact. God's anger when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets is not an act of punishment, but a reflection of His deep understanding of the importance of your mission. He knows the vulnerabilities that arise when sacred truths are mishandled. His anger serves as a divine warning, urging you to realign with His will and to recognize the gravity of the trust He has placed in you. By heeding this warning, you affirm your commitment to preserving the purity of your journey and to honoring the covenant you share with God. The story of Jesus offers profound lessons on the importance of timing and discretion. Throughout his ministry, Jesus often chose to withhold certain truths, revealing them only when the time was right and to those who were ready to receive them. His parables, for instance, were designed to convey divine wisdom in a way that required spiritual discernment to fully understand. This approach ensured that his teachings reached their intended audience in a manner that would resonate deeply and transform lives. Similarly, as a chosen one, you must discern when and how to share your insights, ensuring that they align with God's timing and purpose. The power of silence cannot be overstated. In moments of quiet reflection and prayer, you create a sacred space where God's guidance can flow freely. This silence allows you to listen deeply to His voice, gaining clarity and strength to navigate your journey. It is in these moments of stillness that you cultivate the resilience needed to guard your secrets and to remain steadfast in your faith. Silence is not an absence of action, but a deliberate choice to prioritize your connection with God over the noise and distractions of the world. Your role as one of God's chosen ones is not to seek validation or approval from others, but to fulfill the unique purpose He has placed within you. This requires a level of trust and humility that goes beyond human understanding. The discipline of discretion is a reflection of this trust, demonstrating your willingness to honor God's timing and to protect the sacred truths He has revealed to you. By choosing to remain silent until the right moment, you affirm your faith in His plan and your commitment to His will. The practice of safeguarding your divine insights also protects your spiritual energy. When you share too much, too soon, you open yourself up to external influences that can disrupt your focus and drain your strength. These distractions can make it harder for you to hear God's voice and to stay aligned with His purpose. By keeping your revelations close to your heart, you create a protective barrier that allows you to remain grounded in your faith and resilient in the face of challenges. The journey of the chosen one is not without its challenges, but it is deeply rewarding. Each step requires faith, patience, and an unwavering commitment to God's plan. By embracing the power of discretion and trusting in divine timing, you ensure that your mission unfolds exactly as it is meant to. This act of obedience not only strengthens your connection with God, but also prepares you to fulfill your purpose with clarity and confidence. As you continue on your path, remember that your silence is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your strength and faith. In the quiet moments of reflection, you will find the guidance and reassurance you need to carry out your mission. Trust that God's timing is perfect and that His plan for you is unfolding in ways that will bring glory to Him and fulfillment to your soul. By guarding your secrets and honoring the sanctity of your journey, you align yourself with His divine will and prepare yourself for the incredible blessings that await. The life of God's chosen one is filled with unique responsibilities and divine revelations that shape every step of the journey. To carry such a calling is to understand the immense trust God places in you, requiring unwavering faith, discernment, and a profound connection to His will. At the core of this journey lies the principle of safeguarding sacred truths. These insights are not mere pieces of wisdom, but divine tools meant to guide you and bring God's purpose to fruition. Sharing these truths prematurely or with those unprepared to understand them risks diluting their power, inviting unnecessary challenges, and delaying the manifestation of God's will in your life. By guarding these divine revelations, you honor God's trust and align yourself more closely with His plan, ensuring that His purpose for you unfolds without interference. Silence becomes a powerful ally for those chosen by God. It is within moments of quiet reflection and spiritual stillness that His voice is most clearly heard, free from the distractions and noise of the world. This silence is not an act of isolation, but an intentional space for spiritual growth, renewal, and alignment. When you resist the urge to share every revelation, you create a sacred environment where God's wisdom can flourish and His guidance can grow stronger within you. The act of withholding is not about selfishness, but about nurturing the sanctity of your calling. Through this practice, you ensure that divine truths mature fully before being shared. allowing them to achieve their intended purpose and impact as God has planned. The principle of divine timing is central to the chosen one's journey. God's plans unfold according to His perfect schedule, not human impatience or desires. There is wisdom in waiting and trusting that He will reveal the right moments for action and for sharing your divine mission. Prematurely sharing your insights or exposing your mission can disrupt this timing, introducing confusion, challenges, or resistance that were never part of God's design. Trusting in His timing requires patience, humility, and the willingness to surrender your immediate expectations in favor of His greater wisdom. This trust is a hallmark of faith, demonstrating your commitment to walking the path God has laid before you with unwavering confidence in His plan. Discretion is a form of spiritual stewardship, ensuring that the divine gifts you carry are not exposed to unnecessary risks or harm. Not everyone is equipped to understand or support your calling, and their lack of alignment can lead to spiritual obstacles and unnecessary distractions. By exercising discernment, you protect yourself and the mission God has entrusted to you, creating a space where His guidance can remain the primary influence in your life. This act of protection strengthens your connection to God, preserves your energy, and ensures that your focus remains directed toward fulfilling His purpose rather than managing misunderstandings or misplaced opinions from others. The weight of God's anger when His chosen ones fail to guard their secrets is a reflection of His profound love and understanding of the stakes involved. This anger is not punitive but a call to realign with His will, to recognize the sacredness of your role, and to protect the sanctity of the mission He has given you. By heeding this call, you reaffirm your dedication to preserving the integrity of your purpose and to ensuring that God's plan unfolds without interference. It is a reminder that your journey is not just about you, but about the greater purpose God intends to achieve through you. This alignment with His will brings clarity, strength, and divine favor, equipping you to navigate the challenges that accompany your calling with grace and resilience. As you walk this path, the practice of silence becomes a tool for deeper connection and spiritual empowerment. In the stillness, you are reminded of the sanctity of your mission and the importance of remaining aligned with God's purpose. This silence allows you to listen more intently to His voice, gaining the clarity and reassurance needed to take each step with confidence. It also shields your journey from the distractions, negativity, and misunderstandings that can arise when others fail to grasp the depth of your calling. By protecting your sacred truths and choosing silence over unnecessary exposure, you create a foundation of trust and obedience that strengthens your relationship with God and preserves the integrity of your journey. The chosen one's journey is not without its challenges, but it is one of profound significance and spiritual reward. Each step requires faith, courage, and a willingness to prioritize God's plan over personal desires or worldly validation. The discipline of discretion is an expression of this priority, demonstrating your commitment to honoring the divine trust placed in you. By choosing to guard your insights and remain steadfast in your faith, you position yourself to fulfill your purpose with clarity, strength, and divine alignment. The lessons from this journey are clear and profound. Silence is not weakness, but strength. Discretion is not secrecy, but stewardship. And divine timing is not delayed, but perfection. These principles ensure that your mission remains aligned with God's will, protecting you from unnecessary distractions and allowing His purpose to unfold in its fullness and beauty. Trust in His wisdom, embrace the power of silence, and guard the sacred truths that have been entrusted to you. In doing so, you not only fulfill your role as one of God's chosen ones, but also bring glory to Him, transform the world through His divine plan, and find peace and purpose in the knowledge that you are walking in alignment with His will and His love.